Everybody, and welcome to Beyond 90 Seconds. I hope you're doing well. And I am going to share my screen and show you a live look at Moonset. So what do I want to do here? Let's go advanced. Almost ready. Okay, I think we've got it. All right, I hope you're having a good evening or day wherever you might be. Here's a live look at the moon. So let me explain. I am live in the Seattle area from my home, and I'm remotely accessing a camera that is set up on the rooftop of my friend Christian Zase. He has a cottage in southern British Columbia. He's not there right now, but he has a roof cam. He's got a tall pole with a PTZ or pan tilt zoom camera on top of it. And so I'm able to log in using some software and access that camera. And so let's go ahead and let's move our shot just a little bit so we can buy a little time. And this is a decent look at the moon given the evening because there are lots of clouds. And for much of the evening, we haven't been able to see the moon. Let's see, we want to move it this way. And we'll tuck it up in the corner. It looks like, yeah, okay, now let's make it go up in the corner. There we go. And now we can let it, watch it move left to right, all on its own. And while we're on this, I'm going to bring up my YouTube channel so I can see if you guys have any comments. I'm going to bring that up on my iPad. Almost there. Actually, I don't think you guys are seeing the screen. Oh, I guess you're not. So let's try this. I'm sorry, guys. Here, oh, that's not quite right. All right. Sorry about the confusion. We'll fine tune this. There we go. Nice. So again, if you've just joined, here's a live look at the moon. The camera is a live stream camera that my friend has attached to a pole on top of his rooftop. It's there 24/7. In fact, he's not even home right now. My friend is Christian Zase, the well-known bald eagle photographer and night sky photographer. Christian's a good friend, and he's given me login rights to his camera and the software that allows me to control the camera. And I like it. I'll follow planes and birds, and we've had some good moments. The Northern Lights the other night were just spectacular. But let's go ahead and let's adjust the shot a little bit. I'm in the Seattle area at my home, and we're getting near Moonset. For much of the evening, we were not able to see. Oh, look how good that is, you guys. We were not able to see the moon because of the clouds. Now we're seeing just through the clouds. In fact, I'm going to tweet this. I'm just doing a tweet here. A couple of hashtags and we'll be set. All right, let's see who jumps on board. Yeah, that's a little like overexposed, isn't it? So here's the tricky part. I have to bring up another application. We're going to adjust that in here. Just try bringing down the brightness here. That might help a bit. And let's move our shot just a tad. Not that direction, let's go this direction. Again, we're getting close to Moonset. The moon pretty low in the sky this evening, but again, cloud cover kept us from seeing it for much of the evening. So this is the view from, where is this view? It's in southern British Columbia. I want to say West Kelowna, but it's technically just north of there. Oh, there went something flying. That might have been a satellite. Did you see that? Let's make a note of the time. That was at 22, 29, 20. I think we might have just seen a satellite. Make a note. That was pretty cool. It might have been even, wouldn't it be cool if it was the International Space Station? Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at that later. All right, so right now we have less cloud cover, and so the brightness of the moon is really coming through. So let's see what we can do to adjust that. This setting really isn't the best way to go about it, and I don't think the contrast is going to help much. Ideally, where this setting lives is in exposure, but I'm going to have to get a lesson from my friend Christian, the owner of the camera, because I have not mastered this yet. I've brought the gain all the way down. Exposure mode is auto. I don't know if this is going to make much of a difference. Oh, that's pretty good now with the clouds coming through anyway. So let's drop this. There we go. That's beautiful. Just moving the camera a bit. This is a live view of the moon. It's October 14th, Thursday, and the local time here in the Seattle area, Pacific Standard Time, is 22:31:46, 10:31 p.m. Check my app for the time of moonset this evening. Well, for the area that I live in, it looks like Moonset is at 1:16 a.m. So it looks like we're still about 3 hours away, actually. I thought we were closer than that. But that's okay. The moon is very low in the sky this evening. Let's change the shot a bit. All right, let's change this up. There we go. This is a definitely a spur of the moment live stream on my part. I didn't know that I was going to get a good look at the moon. Not that it's a clear night, it's obviously not, but it's pretty dramatic with the thin clouds going by. And this affords me the opportunity to do some practice with the camera. Now there is a digital zoom. I'm all the way in on the optical zoom. This camera has a 42 times optical zoom, and there is a digital zoom. And I'm using, there are two pieces of software that can run this this camera, and I have been using the default simple one prior to tonight. The camera owner, my friend Christian Zase, assisted me as I installed the better software, if you will. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I don't know where the digital zoom is. Anyway, I'm gonna have to check with Christian on where the digital zoom is, because that would get us even closer. I mean, it's not super high resolution with the digital zoom, but it's still good. This is nice right here. We're streaming, well, we're recording at 2K. I'm recording it here on my computer as I stream this. It's a 2K camera. And again, this area that the camera is located in, it's on a rooftop at my friend Christian Zoff's cottage, and it's Okanagan Lake, British Columbia. So southern British Columbia, not too far north of the border with Washington State here in the U.S. If you were in Washington State, think Central Washington, think Wenatchee, and then going north, Chelan and Omak, that whole area. Cross the border going north into Canada, maybe drive for an hour and a half or so, you get to this area. But that's awfully bright, isn't it? Now we're getting into the business of overexposure. So let's see what we can do here. I'm probably really messing this up, but I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah, I'm not making much of a difference here, am I? Let's try iris priority. No. Oh, there we go. How about that? There we go. See, you got to play. You got to fail forward. Now that's looking better. And let's go ahead and adjust this. Let's put the moon back up in the corner. Not that way. Okay, we want to stop. Here we go. Okay, so you'll get a good feel for how fast the Earth is rotating. We're not zoomed so tightly that we're inside of the moon, if you will. We've got the full moon in view, and you're going to see this is, now I am not controlling the camera right now. My hands are off the control. So this is just a movement that we perceive due to the rotation of the Earth. And you can see, you get a good feel for just how quickly things go by. While this is happening, I'm going to see if I can find that digital zoom. Yeah, here we go. Maybe I can't do it while I'm recording. So let's stop the recording. And now let's see if we can digitally zoom. No. Interesting. So I'm going to see if I can reach Christian on an app. I'm going to mute my microphone just for a moment. All right. So maybe we'll hear back from Christian about how I can zoom in even further. We're all the way zoomed in with the optical zoom at 42 times, but the digital zoom, it's not responding, but that can take us in much closer. Again, I'm not moving the camera at this second, and so you've had a good feel for the Earth's rotation. Let's go ahead and move the moon back in the upper left-hand corner. All right, there we go. I'm wondering if it's not responding because I've got the zoom window over it. That might be it. So let's change things just a little bit. Let's change the zoom window. Now let's try it. Nope, that's not going to do it either. Okay. This is how one learns, isn't it? Okay. So I had thought that the moon was going to be setting earlier. I should have checked the time. Just given its place in the sky, I know the landscape where this camera is located. And last night, when it was in this general area, it seemed like we were very close to setting. But I'm off. I just checked the moonset time for this evening, and it's around 1:30 a.m. actually, and it's still just 10:43 p.m. here. So about 3 hours to go, apparently. But right now, we've got some great clear sky. That's not been the case most of the evening. Most of the evening, we've had clouds to the point where we couldn't see the moon. And then we could see the clouds going by lightly and we could make out the moon. And now, for the moment, free and clear. So that's pretty darn cool. If I could just get the digital zoom to respond, I know we can get in much closer. But this is still quite impressive. Again, this is a pan tilt zoom camera on my friend's roof in southern British Columbia. I'm in the Seattle area and I'm controlling the camera at the moment, and I thought I'd stream it live. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the YouTube chat. I've got YouTube open so I can see if you have any questions. I've got YouTube open on my iPad, so let me bring that around. What's really cool too is when Christian who owns the camera he's a quote unquote amateur astronomer, but he's much like a professional. Trust me on that one. And with this camera, it's been pretty cool because he's also been able to show us Venus and Saturn and Jupiter. It's particularly concentrating on Saturn. We've been able to see the rings of Saturn using this camera on his rooftop, right? And with Jupiter, he's actually been able to show Jupiter and 4 of its moons using this rooftop camera. So it's pretty neat. And earlier I made note of a time code when I saw either a satellite or the International Space Station quickly go by the moon. And I'm looking forward to checking that out later. I'm just going to adjust the shot here, you guys. Let's put the moon back up in the left-hand corner because it's moving, of course, as the Earth rotates. There we go. It's going to be moving left to right, top to bottom. How are you all doing this evening? I know a few of you, I see a few people on watching the live stream, so thank you very much for checking this out. If you have any questions about the camera or where this is located, feel free to ask. I'm happy to do my best to answer your questions. Do you like streams like this one, where you see the weather live or the night sky? It's pretty cool to see pretty good video. And at night, of course, that can be difficult for, when you think of quote unquote a webcam, something that's out there 24/7. This is a pretty nice camera, obviously. And just a couple of nights ago, we had a sensational show of the Northern Lights, which, when Christian and I, we talk quite a bit. We talk about things that we might be able to capture with this camera. We did discuss the Northern Lights, but never did we expect a show like we had 2 nights ago. It was phenomenal. You literally saw the lights dancing at times. It was spectacular. And you could even see the green reflection on Okanagan Lake, which is located directly beneath this camera, downslope, across the lake from Vernon, British Columbia. Another good thing that I just realized, I believe I was recording at the time the object went by in front of the moon. I said, it went by very quickly. It was either a satellite. I don't think it was a plane. It could have been a space station, but probably a satellite. But I am recording, and this is a 2K camera, so it will be 2K footage, and I'll be able to look at that. So often what I've been doing with this camera, like especially if Christian's operating it, if I see something like the Northern Lights, I'll just play it back on my phone or my iPad and screen record using the iOS screen recorder and then quickly upload that to YouTube. But we have access to 2K footage, so when possible, I really, if I'm not in a rush, it's great to be able to use that. Now look, because some clouds are moving in, it's less light from the moon is getting through, it's getting darker. And for a moment there, the contrast was beautiful. Now I could be messing with the settings as well, but it looks like we might be losing the moon for just a little bit here. Well, and maybe a lot longer. We'll see. I'm going to zoom out. Let's zoom out. Okay. So let's, we're using a 42 times optical zoom. Let's zoom back in. And we'll work on that focus. Oh, we could be losing it for a while. Let's zoom back out. Playing hide and seek here with the moon, aren't we? Not bad. Gonna move the camera a little bit. There we go. And let's put it back up in the left corner. We're gonna zoom in some more here. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's bring up some additional settings. This will probably be too much here shortly if the moon pops back out. Let's zoom out. Oh, wait, there it's starting to show a bit. It's a game of cat and mouse right now. Here we go. Let's go ahead and zoom in some more. Perhaps a bit too much. That's too much the wrong way on the focus. That's not bad right there. There we go. Come on. I'll play here and get it. There we go. And we'll zoom out just a little bit. I think if we change the f-stop here, the iris, let's bring it to 1.6. Let's also go to a bit of the image adjustment. See what happens if we change the exposure mode to auto. That's not very good. Let's try manual. Oh yeah, that helped. There we go. Okay, let's go a bit tighter. We gotta work on that focus. There we go. How about that? Yeah, I think that's pretty tack sharp there. All right, let's put the moon back up in the left corner. All right, hands off the controls and we'll just watch it move along here. I hope you're having a good evening. This camera streams 24/7 on my friend's YouTube channel, Christian Zasa. You can find him on YouTube. He's at Zasa Photo. I'll spell that. In fact, I'll just put it in the live chat. We're going to zoom out here, I think, first. Well, let's take care of the live chat. I'm going to give Christian's handle so you can check out his 24/7 live stream. Again, check out his channel and check out the Northern Lights from a couple of nights ago. I also have a couple of clips on my channel from that. But see the live stream. I'm just typing up the comment here for this camera on the at Sassy Photo YouTube channel. Okay, so there it is at Sassy Photo. You can see how that is spelled, and you can find him on YouTube, and you can find this. He calls it the live stream La Casa Cottages live stream, I think is what he calls it. He lives in a neighborhood called La Casa Cottage Resort. Let's see, Lavender Debs. Hi, Deb. Nice to see you. I'm going to zoom out real quick because I think we'll grab a bit more light on that. There we go. And we'll get a bit of a focus going here. Just a second. The wrong way. We'll get it here in a second. Let's see how tricky that is. Deb, I'm so glad to see you watching. Hope all's well in Montana. I saw your surveillance video of a bear at your place. Okay, an observation about satellites. They appear to move much faster than airplanes. Surprised me when I first started seeing them. Ah, very good. Thank you, Deb. Really appreciate that. Yeah, we had a moment tonight and I made a note of it. I'll tell you the time code unless any of you guys, because you're welcome to go back. You see how you can see the time in the bottom right-hand corner, right? So let me just go to my notes. So this will be off perhaps by 5 or 10 seconds. But when I looked, I saw what looked like a satellite go by. Maybe it was the International Space Station, if I can only be so lucky, right? But it was at 22:29:20. 22:29:20. So 10:29 p.m. in 20 seconds, give or take. So I'll be checking that out a bit later this evening. And I'll probably, if it's any good, I'll share a clip on Twitter or YouTube or both in real time and as a slow motion right after the real time view. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit and get a better focus here. So we're shooting through some clouds at the moment. That focus does not look good. That's going the wrong way. Let's go the other way. It's a bit of hit or miss. Okay, that's getting blurry again. I think there's some light clouds that we're shooting through at the moment, so that kind of makes it a bit challenging. There we go. And let's see what happens when we zoom in. Okay, look, it's getting low in the sky because it's about to move behind some trees now, behind Christian's house. So let's work this. This is fun, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. There we go. And let's move the camera because this is getting exciting now. And we'll put it back up in the top left-hand corner. But it's starting to move behind some trees. There we go. Look at that. And let's see if we can get any. Are we all the way zoomed in optically? No, we're not. Let's go closer. There we go. And let's work on our focus again. Every time we adjust the zoom, we're going to have to go back in and adjust the focus. There we go. Look at that. I'd say that's pretty good right there. Pretty dramatic. Oh, I see what you're saying, Deb. Deb in the live chat says, I expected satellites to be stationary, forgetting that they orbit. I see. Yeah, they whiz on by. That's for sure. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Let's open a piece of software and see if we can bring that exposure. Well, I'm tempted. We'll try something real quick. We'll try it real quick. That's all the way at f.16. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to mess around. These are fleeting moments. We don't have much longer with the moon, so we'll just enjoy what we have to work with at the moment. Because by the time I figured out how to bring that exposure down, we'd lose the moment. So glad you guys are here to check this out with me as I continue to play with this camera and learn software related to it. I'd say the two highlights so far with this camera. There's been more than two, but certainly the Northern Lights were the number one highlight. They were just sensational a couple nights ago, and we captured that with this camera. So that exceeded all my expectations. This camera does great in low light and has wonderful menu of settings which allow you to really capture those northern lights in their glory, and that's what happened that night. Number two, there's a nearby osprey nest. Well, with this camera, it feels nearby anyway. And the osprey have left for the fall. They've migrated. And some bald eagles were in the area a few days ago. And I got I managed to record a bald eagle in the osprey nest twice that day. And each time it flew from the nest, it launched from when it finally launched, it came toward the camera. So that was fun. It flew right in front of Christian's house down toward some lower level trees closer to Okanagan Lake. So that was number two. And the third thing I would say for me anyway is, I got the Flight Radar 24 app on my iPad, my iPhone, and I can see planes in the area where this camera is. And the nearest airport, or the busy airport anyway, is in Kelowna. And I can follow the planes in as they go towards Kelowna, which is on the opposite side of the lake, a bit further south. So following the 737s and the other de Havilland, all these different types of small and larger planes has been fun as well. And then there have been some pretty cool rainbows, and we haven't had a lightning storm yet, but I'm sure that'll be something down the road. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's move this camera a bit. Okay, so let's play with what we have to work with here, which is a largely disguised or hidden moon. And let's see if we can just make it out a bit with some focus adjustment. Okay, there's our nearby trees in focus. Now let's go the other way. See if we can get the moon in focus. It's right in there, right in this area here. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. I'm going back towards the wrong direction. Yeah, hard to grab the focus with very little moon available at the moment. But this has been fun, my friends. Let's zoom out. Now we're all the way zoomed out, and we're gonna change some settings so we can get you kind of a default view and show you what this can look like. Let's go to the default view. Yeah, look at that. That's what happens when we blast it all open. I'm going to play with those settings in just a moment. So this is the default. We can improve this. It's going to a different type of nighttime image. We don't want that. So I'm going to change something here. Let's change it back to day. All right. I'll give you a quick tour around the area. And I'm going to really increase, on Christian's channel, you would see the stream at Sassy Photo and you hear some really nice, slow, relaxing music. And we tend to keep the movements really slow to go along with that feel. I'm going to be abrupt here. We're going to just whisk this around toward the lake. So there is the lake below. Kelowna, where the airport that I was referring to is located, is, hang on a second, the camera seems to be, there we go. The airport is across the way, across the lake, actually behind these ridge tops where I'm going back and forth. We could zoom in over there. There we go. And so when the planes come in, let's see if you can see my hourglass or magnifying glass here at the left side of the screen. You'll see them duck behind the ridge here as they go behind to land on the airstrip. You can see a flashing light associated with the airport there. So let's zoom out. And the northern lights, so that was looking toward the southeast. Now we're looking across the lake. Let's get things in focus. Yeah, now we're looking across the lake. And in this area is Vernon, British Columbia, opposite side of the lake on the north end. And when we had the northern lights, they were dancing all the way across this span right here. And then they would kind of lay low and fade. And then a belt or ring almost developed right across. And then they would kind of fade. And then before you know it, they would just start dancing again across the sky. It was fantastic, my friends. Okay, and again, I put in the live chat Christian's channel at Sassy Photo. You'll hear me say Zasa, you'll hear me say Sassy. I feel like people, at least in the US, will get closer to the spelling of his name if I say Sassy, but it's pronounced Zasa. It's a German name and it's S-A-S-S-E. S as in Sam, A, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, E, Sassy Photo. And what we're going to do now, let's move this around and we can go with some default patterns. And let's just put this on autopilot. We'll choose pattern 1. Now it's just going to run itself. And one of the things I'm going to do though, is I'm going to tell this camera that we want it to have autofocus so that it can make what it feels are the proper adjustments for focus. And now it's all on its own. And with that, my friends, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Thank you so much for watching. It was nice to have you along. I hope you enjoyed it. Great view of the moon through the clouds once they dissipated a bit there. And thanks for joining me for show and tell tonight, I guess. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching.